My name's Reverend Annie Batchelder. I'm an Akashic channel, and I'm here to do a live video here on Facebook. This is originally recorded on Facebook, and I take your questions written in the comments. So if you have a question and you would like me to channel an answer for you, please let me know. I am so glad Cassandra Ross is here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted you're here, darling. What a day. Noah Griffin. Hi. Well, of all people, Noah, I'm honored. Thank you so much. This is marvelous. Oh my gosh. What a day, huh? I mean, the 7:30 a.m. guided meditation was all about wrestling with disappointment, and they kept it strictly to really becoming aware of the breath and divine love and the light that is within us and around us and that works through us. Good morning, Diane Dobson. Hello, Sugar Pie. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. And please do write your comments, your questions or comments in the comments, and let me be of service here. This is what I do. This is a way for me to give back to you. Those people who have readings with me, those of people who are reading my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, and Akashic Records Guide to Living a Fulfilled Life. This is a great book for you to read today because it is so positive and it's so much about the soul. You know, the soul is it's long term. It's not just this life. It's not just the past lives. It's eternal. And we're constantly evolving and participating with that evolving, and the light that you are really makes life better. I mean, I was really happy that the channeling this morning at 7:30 on my personal page was about being in the light and had nothing to do with politics. And but the fact that they chose to deal with disappointment and a lot of other, pesky feelings that might be coming up today. Diane Dobson says, hi, feeling very gut punched this and sad this morning. Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to go for a hike with my best friend today and this afternoon, and she says, I can't go. I just can't go. I can't go. And I get it. I totally get it. This is the way it is. This is what we've got right now. And you know what the guides really make it clear is that life just goes on. It goes on. That was a moment, and we can create from this moment on, and we get to choose what we want to create, how we want to create from this moment on. And it's like a new beginning. It could be a brand new beginning right now. And I'm in the positivity prison, as my ex-husband used to say. So, it's like I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be kind. I'm still going to be loving. I'm still going to have my soul purposes to be expressed in this lifetime. I'm still going to love the people I love. I'm still going to wonder about the people I wonder about. I'm still going to have questions about the nature of physical reality and the nature of non-physical reality, I guess. Hi, Pat Hansen. Good morning, sweetie pie. I can't tell you how much I love you guys. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have all of you here today. And we shall continue. We shall continue. I'm not going to stop being a light bunny, or being in my positivity prison, or trying to give back to humanity. I'm not going to stop doing the enlightenment expos I've scheduled for myself. I'm not going to stop doing readings. I'm not going to stop being me. And I don't think you are either. And it's, we have what we have. And, there's, it was really unusual, I guess, to come to terms like with the other bad things that have happened in my life, like having MS, multiple sclerosis. Who thinks, well, what could possibly be good about having multiple sclerosis in my life, or about being disabled with it, and I've come to understand how it helped me be humble, not be as physically prideful as I was, and arrogantly thinking if you just change your thoughts, you wouldn't have this disease or something like that. I was like, oh, I mean, I did have to kind of manage my thoughts, but what I did was I stayed in the moment. I stayed in the loving moment. I maintained my connection with the divine, and that helped me deal with MS and the the guides are using different words than I would use. I was going to say unscheduled or unanticipated issues that having a multiple sclerosis used to cause me. And they said the unthinkables, like instead of unscheduled, it really was unthinkable that I was going to have to be taught to walk again. Like, what? But I was happy to learn to walk again. I was happy I could. I was happy I had the gift of, excellent professional services in the process. And even when I was more stabilized and I wasn't learning to walk again, I was given bodywork sessions with Brad Benson at Helis, or he practices neuromuscular reprogramming, and it helps the body balance out, and I got to experience the support of my family and friends, and these were marvelous gifts. These, to know who was here for me. And it made me feel not alone in the world. It made me realize I did have support and love in this world. But this is about you guys. What are your questions? How do we want to be living as our souls today? That's what my book is about. Like chapter 15 is called Living as Your Soul, and I'm turning it into a writing class, a 7-week writing class. I'm going to start it in January. I haven't got all the nuts and bolts, and I need to produce a flyer and, let you in on the secret so you can participate. Good morning, Megan Alexandra. How nice that you're here. Chapter 15 is called Living as Your Soul, and it talks about how would my soul respond to disappointment. Let's look and see what I did to write this chapter was I opened my records and I would ask myself all 23 of these questions that were posed by my guides. Let's see, which guide channeled chapter 15? Channeled by the Akashic beings of light under the auspices of the great creatress. The great creatress is what the Akashic beings of light call the divine, the supreme being. But anyway, so some of the questions that they ask in this are, with soul qualities in mind, how does your soul respond to self-judgment? How does your soul respond to habitual judgment of others? How do you, as you're living as your soul, respond to comparison? I have this like automatic thing. I'm always comparing myself to other women, and it's endless, and I never win. So it's like, what? How could living as your soul, what is your experience of worry? How do you, living as your soul, respond to worry? How would you, living as your soul, exhibit oneness? How would you, living as your soul, demonstrate unity with the great creatress or the divine? How would you, living as your soul, create and manifest? I mean, let's go direct. You could ask direct. Okay, soul, you want me to manifest this. How do you want me to create and manifest? Cassandra Ross is asking me, do you still have any physical disability from MS? I would say there are some things for sure. I had an MS attack, which left scarring on my right eye optic nerve. So I have some double vision in that eye. So I see better out of the left eye. So that's why sometimes you'll catch me looking that way. And I really still have to work on being as strong on the left and as I am as on the right, because all the MS attacks that I had did damage to the right side of my body. And so there's scarring in my brain, but no active lesions, no active points where MS is doing damage to my brain or spinal cord or anything anymore. I've been free of MS since 2010, and I don't even take any MS meds anymore. But yeah, I don't write the same because my right arm was completely paralyzed for about 6 weeks. It wasn't a long time, but getting it back. I mean, I had to be taught to eat with a spoon, to get the spoonful of soup to my mouth. I would be taught that one, and that was kind of interesting. But I had such beautiful physical therapists and occupational therapists and great neurologists, and I'm lucky I live near San Francisco for the UCSF MS Center. And then I have the Tibetan physician who's helped me recover from all of that. I mean, first he said, first we're going to get rid of the inflammation in your body, and then about a year later, he said, now we're going to rebuild your nervous system. And I really think his herbs and his diet did rebuild my nervous system. And I think the light also worked on me 24/7 and it's still working on me. Let's see, somebody else is okay. Cassandra said, wow, I'm worried about my own undifferentiated autoimmune disease, worried about what to do to protect my knees in the future. I think I better post the Tibetan doctor's information. He works out of his office in Encinitas, California, down near San Diego. And he's been a powerful asset for me. And, using my book, because it teaches you how to open your Akashic records. You can ask, how do I work with my own undifferentiated autoimmune disease. And you can ask what's the best way to do that? You know, is it Western medical? Is it a combination of Western and Eastern, or, you know, AMA and alternative medicine? You know, open your records and ask these questions. The thing about opening your records is that the Akashic records change the way being in the open, your own open Akashic records means you're in the energy of your soul and you think differently, you experience differently, you have a sense of knowing about things in life. And it's very inviting. Hi, Zachary Burke. How are you? Nice to see you. And protecting your knees, that, you know, that's, I think with you, Cassandra, protecting your knees is about strength and strengthening all the muscles that support your knees. And that's physical therapy. And, you know, you can go on YouTube and look up strengthening my knees, and you will find 9 million physical therapists fully qualified and putting out the same information basically on what PT exercises to do to strengthen your knees. And it can be done. My sweetheart put off knee surgery for many years by doing physical therapy. He also didn't have to have shoulder therapy, like a torn rotator cuff. He rehabbed it through PT and through using the PT advice that he found on YouTube. Anyway, but you know, immune system. I think of the immune system as kind of like the human defense thing. And they're saying for you, Cassandra, it's a lot about your gut biome and taking your probiotics, having enough fiber that reaches the end of your colon so that there's food at the bottom end for the probiotics to eat. Otherwise, they just go in and die off kind of halfway through the job. And so we need to feed the probiotic bacteria in our biome, and what foods make it harder for them to stay alive, you know. I also think of coffee as drying to the joints. So if you drink coffee, in your case, I would substitute green tea. It'd be a lot easier on your body. And I don't know about you, but if I drink coffee, it's like, you know, it's like steep climb, tragic drop. And that affects my emotional stability and my emotional settings. So it's not very helpful for me personally. And years and years ago, I switched from coffee to black tea. And then when I started seeing the Tibetan doctor, he said green tea. And so now I drink jasmine green tea. It's like wonderful aroma. And I get a little buzz. It's very helpful. Very, very helpful. And it's, you know, I know it affects me because if I drink too much, I have trouble going to sleep or staying asleep. So there is an effect from it. So, and you know, I think I have more respect for my immune system and my nervous system. There we go. Thank you for the thumbs up, folks. And I want to do things that care for it. But let me see if I can put Lobsell's information up. Oh, I gotta go get my get the contacts up. This might take a second here. But I think this would be very useful for many, 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 many people. Okay. Do. Edit, paste. This may not be really helpful. It's kind of unedited. Lobsang Dondab is a Tibetan and a traditionally Tibetan trained physician. And he does takes the pulses on both wrists, and then he can check in with all the systems in the body and see how they're working and what's overworking and what's underworking. And then he prescribes not only Tibetan herbs that are grown in Tibet and processed into combinations for specific purposes by Tibetan monks, but he also prescribes a diet for your particular body. And my mother sees him, my brother has seen him, my sister's seen him. My mother's 92 and she takes no meds. So that's a good recommendation right there. And so let me just make sure this is up there. So you can make an appointment with him. I just went down last weekend and saw him. It's been quite a few years since I've seen him, and it was really good to be seen and to be getting back on herbs and feeling that support. And he's supporting my brain function, so that as I age, as a woman of 66, my brain functions in a sharp and coherent manner. And, his specialties are my multiple sclerosis, cancer, and hormones, female hormones. He has straightened out a lot of women's hormonal situations, either so they could get pregnant or so that things weren't destabilized and out of whack. And he's just a lovely, lovely person to be with. Very helpful, very kind, very strong accent. So you just have to kind of wade through it and trust what you get. You can check it out with Kiwi in the front office. He does video appointments as well. So that might help you, Cassandra, if you're not in don't have the ability to travel right now down there. So he does do video appointments. I went to see him in person because I wanted him to be able to feel the pulses in both wrists live and in person. That was really important for me. Doesn't necessarily have to be for you. So going back to chapter 15 and, living as your soul. How does your soul prioritize activities? How does your soul prioritize activity or ways of being, states of being? Living as your soul, what do you envision your life to be like? These are great questions. And in your Akashic records, I swear, questions are the can openers to information and energy. And in the Akashic records, it's energy first, information second. Energy first, information second. That's why when I'm doing readings, I so tune into if I get a twinge in my neck or twinge in my lower back, or my throat feels tight, or there's a imbalance in my stomach. I mean, these are the things that I pay attention to because in the records and when I'm doing readings, I get body sensations as part of the information I get. So anyway, chapter 15 is called Living as Your Soul, and it asks you to pose these questions with your records open and write the answers about what kind of information and energy you get. And it allows you, because the Akashic records are a soul plane of consciousness, and they're available everywhere in their entirety. Then you are in the records of your own soul, and you can have that consciousness. You can acquire it, you can access it, you can utilize it, you can be guided by it. And everyone deserves to be in contact with their soul. That's why I do all those guided meditations on embodying your soul's light, because the light holds the consciousness of the soul, as well as the blueprint of the soul. And so when you embody the light, it's like you take on the character of your soul. You can really experience the feeling of your soul and the love your soul has for you. The love is a very important part. Very important part. Let's see. Oh, okay, Cassandra, you are talking to me today. A new recovery program has come to my awareness for the families of addiction by Kate Duffy called Tipping Point Recovering. There's a boot camp starting soon. Is taking this now important for me at this moment? Well, I think you know the answer to that. And you just want to be validated for your yes. Yes, 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 yes. I think it's really important for families because we get habituated to relationships with addicts and alcoholics in who they've been as the representative of the disease of addiction and alcoholism. And then the part of me that wants to help and wants to love in spite of everything, and who abandons myself to go over to them and help them and becomes addicted to them as the drama in my life, has to be reprogrammed, has to be reset and restabilized back in myself. And here, in this case too, doing a program like this, boot camp, seems like a great idea. Embodying the soul's light would be really valuable too, because it brings you home to yourself. And it lets you be unattached to whatever dependencies or, enmeshment is going on between, I'll use myself as an example, between me and the addict or the alcoholic that I'm interacting with. And the mind needs to be retaught. And my emotions need to be rechanneled back to myself and reset as myself as the stabilizing factor, and rebuild my relationship with my soul and the divine. One of the other reasons I always recommend embodying your soul's light is that the soul is the connection with the divine. When I embody my soul's light, I'm automatically connected to the divine. It happens just like that. And it may take a while for you to be sensitive to that, but as you embody your own soul's light and then kind of look a little further out beyond the light of your soul, what's out there? The divine, right there, right outside the edges of your soul. And the divine is so much a part of the light of your soul, because you are that little piece of the divine's light. And it's so useful to be that and embody your soul's light, because the divine took a piece of her light and created you all, you know. So yes, sign up today. Don't stop. Let the divine help you. Even if you don't know where the money's coming from or how you're going to pull this off, just say, divine, you got to help me now. I need this. This is going to help me, and I need this. You can please, divine, support me in growing in this manner. It's a great statement of personal health and a stand in your own personal light for you, Cassandra. I think that's great. But as living as our soul, we are that connection with our soul. We are that connection with the divine. We are fluid. And it's so important to remember that and to be able to utilize it, on a regular basis. And that's the thing about my book, is it teaches you how to open your Akashic records. It teaches you how to work in there. It teaches you how to discover if there's past life influences or ancestral issues going on in whatever you're experiencing in your life. It's really empowering. And it takes you through lots of different exercises. Okay, Chris Brusati, does the Angelic Conclave have a message for us today? Yes, great question, Chris. Greetings. We are the Angelic Conclave, and we are committed to your never-ending healing, which could also be interpreted as never-ending evolution, both in the physical body and as a soul. And we transmit through the soul to your physical body the energies, the pure divine light energies that most support your physical wellness and your spiritual interaction with the soul. And this does not suddenly stop today because of a change in political venue. The healing goes on. The limitless, infinite, vast love and light of the divine is always available, whether you seek our assistance or not. We are with you. We are transmitting to you, even when you are not paying attention, even when you are chasing thoughts down the rabbit hole, being otherwise engaged. And we are not finding any fault with any of you. You are all exactly who and where and how you need to be. You are living as your souls. You just are not necessarily aware of it moment by moment. And the healing, divine, 100% pure divine light that we transmit creates a geometric structure of light that allows greater flow, greater healing physically, greater connection with your soul and the divine. And it is extremely pleasant for us to channel this light and these patterns of light so that your wellness and your growth, your spirit expressed in physicality is unimpeded. Now, when you look at the pattern in your hearts, close your eyes and become aware of your heart. There's just a little bit of fracas, a little bit of chaotic frequency. But you also know that you can deal with a certain amount of chaos, and you have a certain skill individually, all of you, in creating order from chaos. And you can ask yourself, am I adding to the chaos or am I adding to the order? You might even think of order as, am I adding to the beauty? I'm saying this to Cassandra because she is a dancer and is an orchestration, a structure, a flow of beauty that happens in dance that feels right. And all of you recognize this in yourselves. And so, gentle your hearts down, love them up. Gentle your personalities today, love them up. Be kind to yourself and others. And know that this day will become the next day, and the next day, and the next day, as that sense of time moves on. And you all are so committed to spiritual growth. You can settle into that commitment to spiritual growth. Good morning, Jody. You can settle into that sense of orderly divine love and divine light. And even the natural order of the planet Earth. Here you are in fall, watching the leaves turn and drop, and the sap recede from the trees, and the flowers of the summer die off. And you're feeling the winter approaching. Change is happening. And this happens whether you agree with it or not. So let that expected desire for a certain outcome, and this can be applied to any situation in life, be set aside. Just observe from your innermost self, your soul self, through your divine eyes, your divine knowingness. The divine order still reigns. And it is a matter of opening your consciousness to it and participating with it and opening that flow within you to divine light, divine order, to this structure of energetics that you are surrounded by all the time. The flow, the coming, the going, the movement, the changes in this flow. You adapt every day. You adapt. And so you shall continue on. So you shall partake of that which is the gift of the divine to you in this day. And with time, you will turn around and look back and see the gift in this day, the gift in your perspective. And some of you, you will double down on the light. No half measures. And some of you will simply lighten up. There you go. That's beautiful. There, everyone, take a breath and receive. Take a breath and receive. Take a breath and let the divine soak you in her love, her light. Excuse me. Take a breath and receive the clarity, the depth, the strength, the new frequencies that are flowing into you, that are part of you. There you go. Soak it up. This is an endless supply, so you needn't short yourself. You needn't be shy. Dive in, the water's lovely. The love is love. The light is light. The frequencies are exactly what you need at this moment. And you are dialed in so keenly. Does that gift of desperation, or the acronym for God, gift of desperation, when you feel desperate, you often amplify the good. You amplify your reach. You lengthen your reach. You will stretch yourself to new lengths. Try on new behaviors, to do new things. And this, by the way, is a very good time to start new things. An excellent month to do such a thing, to add something new into your repertoire, your spiritual repertoire. And notice that your heart is beautiful and calm now. You can even just hand over any chaos that might be in there, that jumpy energy. Just hand it over. Give it to the divine. Offer it. Often we have had Annie offer up her character defects, the fear, especially when her multiple sclerosis was a factor. She was fearful of what was going to happen next. She would cough up what she felt was a hairball, like a cat, and offer that to the divine, her fear of the future, and give that to the divine and be uplifted. And so can you. You might find yourself in the next few weeks or months being more open to connection with those of like mind, and even those who you feel are very, very different from you. And that is that stretch, that reach, that opening wider for this day contains much love in it. Much, much love. And your hearts are elastic enough, expansive enough, expand to include those whom you feel are not like you. And so that is our offering to you today. And we thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Ooh. That was nice. Thank you for asking that, Chris. Perfect timing. You pulled up exactly the beings of light that are most present right now. All right. I think that's it for today. We thank you very much. And it is our pleasure to be with you whenever you ask for the Angelic Healing Conclave. Myself, your soul, the divine. You just have to ask. It's not a big deal. Just ask. Help. I often say things like, you got to help me with this, God. Great creatress, you have to help me here. You got to put the words in my mouth. You have to put the people in front of me that I'm supposed to talk to. You have to do this. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Chris Brusati. Thank you, Diane Dobson. Thank you for all the people. Jody, Prevet Young. Thank you, Zachary. And thank you, Teresa Roberts. Oh, yay. Hi. I thank you, Megan Alexandra. What a name. Thank you, Pat Hansen. Thank you, Diane Dobson. Thank you, Noah Griffith. Thank you, Cassandra. All had a good day together. May this expand to include everyone and everything. No resistance. Amen.